Hello students, in our last video we have completed our topic that was objectives of management. After this we are moving towards our next topic, that is importance of management. There are five importances. First one is management helps in achieving group goals. As we have discussed in our definition also that the management helps in achieving the organizational goal, but group goals here refers to the goals of different individuals who are working in the organization so that they can perform as a group in the organization. We can say that management tries to integrate the objectives of individuals along with the organizational goal. Each and every person who is working in the organization may have different attitudes, background, working behavior, but the responsibility of the manager is to direct the efforts of all the individuals in the same direction so that the organizational goal can be achieved, because we know that if everyone will perform their activities separately and if they are not directing towards the organizational goal, then their efforts are useless. Manager acts as a force who binds the activities of all the peoples working in the organization so that their efforts are directed towards the achievement of organizational goal only. For example, purchase department is performing the activity of purchasing the raw material. Sales department is performing to sell the products. Finance is keeping the record, but they are doing different activities. But what a manager has to do? A manager will direct them in a way that these three departments will work in the direction of achieving organizational goals only. Second importance is increases efficiency. What does efficiency means? Completing the task with minimum cost. So as we have discussed that management tries to achieve the organizational goal effectively and efficiently. For achieving the goal efficiently, a manager tries to reduce the cost. He tries to minimize the wastage so that the cost can be reduced and profits can be increased. So when he do all the efforts, he try to do all the activities so that cost can be reduced in such a way, it helps in increasing efficiency. If everything is going on without management, then it might be possible that work is completing but with more and more cost. But if there is a good management, proper management, then manager will perform all the activities which will result in reducing the cost and with minimum wastage of resources. And in this way, the management insists on efficiency as well as on effectiveness in the work through planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. By performing these five functions, the manager always tries to reduce the cost and the minimum, he tries to minimize the wastage, which will help in increasing efficiency. Third is creates a dynamic organization. As we have discussed that the environment in which the organization is existing, it is very dynamic. It means it keeps on changing day to day, even within a minute. So organizations have to survive in dynamic environment. अगर organization को start किया गया है, तो it is to be prepared. एक मैनेजर को, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को पहले से प्रिपेयर होना पड़ता है कि जिस एनवायरनमेंट में हम एग्जिस्ट कर रहे हैं उसमें कोई भी चेंज आ सकता है, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी मच डायनामिक. So what a manager has to do? A manager keeps making changes in the organization to match the environmental changes. Okay, the changes which are going on in the organization, that is internal, but which is going on outside the organization in the environment, that is external. So what is the responsibility of the manager? बाहर के changes को, external changes को अपने internal changes के साथ हमेशा match करना, that is known as matching the changes so that each and every organization can exist in the market. So management helps in creating a dynamic organization by accepting the changes and making changes in the organization to match with the external environmental changes. Fourth one is helps in achieving personal objectives. It means along with group goals. Management also helps in achieving personal objectives. Personal here refers to the people who are working in the organization. An efficient manager is one who brings maximum prosperity for employees as well as for employers. It means manager leads the people in such a manner that along with the organizational goal, individual goals are also being achieved. सिर्फ मैनेजमेंट में ये नहीं देखा जाएगा कि सभी लोगों की पर्सनल नीड्स को इग्नोर करके हम सिर्फ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नीड्स को फुलफिल करें, but if you want to keep your employees happy and you want that they give you their best, so you have to take care of the personal needs of the employees also. For example, the organization goal is to increase sale in the coming next year, so the different peoples are responsible to increase the sale. What is the responsibility of a manager? He will guide the employees in such a way. For example, there will be more salary or extra bonus for all the employees who will do their best, who will perform their best or do hard work to increase the sale of the organization. It means to get more salary and bonus, the workers will also do hard work, and indirectly it will have a great impact and positive impact on the sale of the organization. In this way, both objectives has been achieved, organization as well as personal objectives are achieved. So it is the responsibility of the manager to bring the coordination and to balance all the things so that both organization goals as an organization goal, group goal, as well as all the personal objectives are also being achieved. Fifth importance is helps in development of society. It means organization always insists on providing good quality products, competitive salary, creating more and more employment opportunities. So by increasing production, management also contributes to increasing GDP. So efficient management is always has some multiple objectives. Might be there is some organization who has objective to achieve to earn more and more profit only. But the organizations who are very multiple, who are having multiple objectives, they also give more importance to the society also. Okay, so for this they always try to give more and more best things to the society, which will help in development of society also. After this, we are coming to the next topic, that is nature of management. Nature means the behavior. How does the behavior, how does the management behaves? The management behaves like science, art, and as profession. So let us discuss as a science. What are the characteristics of science? Systematic body of knowledge. It means there is a systematic study material which is available from which we can acquire the knowledge of science. If as a student you want to have the knowledge of science, from where you can get the knowledge? You can have some books or the study material which is available in the market and you can study. So in this way, science has a systematic body of knowledge. It has a systematic study material which is available to us, from which we can acquire the knowledge about science. Second feature of science is the principles based on experimentation. All the principles which are developed in science, they all have been developed on the basis of experimentation. They are not merely applied in the environment by rule of thumb. Firstly, they have passed an experiment and some observation is there. Only after that they are applied in the environment. So third characteristic is universal validity. It means the principles of science are applicable everywhere. It means they are universal. So management also acts like a science, as same study material like science, the study material like books, notes, and different study materials available for management where you can study. For example, your 11th and 12th books are available, and after that professional courses are there from which you can acquire, from where you can acquire the knowledge about management. Principle based on experimentation. It means the principles that we have studied in chapter number 2, there are different principles. All the principles of science are based on experimentation. Just like that, the management principles are also developed through observations and experimentations. But as we know that in science, the principles applied on some particular thing, but in management the principles are applied on human beings, and human being behavior is changeable. We cannot accurately predict that the principle which has been worked on a particular person, that same principle will apply on different peoples also positively. So this feature of management does not presently applicable to the science exactly. So this feature of science is partially present. Third one is universal validity. Principle of science are universally applicable, but the principles of management are not universally applicable. They need to be changed as per the conditions. We cannot say that if principle of equity was successful in X organization, that particular principle will also work in Y organization also. The situation is to be considered, is to be observed, only then we can say that the principle will work or not. So only two, as we can say, only one feature is fully present, second feature is partially present in management, and third feature is not present in management yet. So management is not a pure science, it is not an exact science, but we can say it is an inexact science. If anybody asks you that what is the nature of management, it means management acts like science, art and profession. Okay, but we are studying that what are the exact characteristics that are management is having. Only one characteristic of science is having. Second is as an art. Art refers to the skills, or we can say art can be defined as systematic body of knowledge which requires some skills, creativity and practice to perfection, to get perfection. What are the features? Existence of theoretical knowledge. Just like science, we also have some study material which helps in acquiring the theoretical knowledge of the art. We can say some different study material is available for different rags and musics. We can study just like art. There is study material also which has been provided for the management. We can get the theoretical knowledge about management. So this feature is applicable in management. Second is personalized application. It means everyone in the field of art, only theoretical knowledge is not enough. As we can say, we can take the example of the musician. All musicians learn about the rags. Okay, Sare Gama Pa, everyone knows about that. Every musician is having the knowledge, but they apply these rags according to their skills and creativity. If we ask different musicians to play same instrument, same rags, so maybe there is some creativity, their style of applicating that rags is different. So just like in art, every rag and every skill has some different creativity. Such like that, manager also have different methods and different creativity to apply such principles in management. So this characteristic also present in management. Third one is based on practice and creativity. Art को और perfect बनाने के लिए what is required? Practice and creativity. इसी तरीके से मैनेजर को और परफेक्ट बनाने के लिए क्या जरूरत है कि वो टाइम टू टाइम प्रैक्टिस करता रहे और नई नई इनोवेशंस और इनोवेटिव आइडियाज लाता रहे अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए, जिससे कि वो अपने फ्यूचर को या अपने आप को और स्मूथ और ब्राइट कर सके. So this characteristic is also present in management. So we can say that management is an exact art. All the features of art are present in management. Third nature is as a profession. Profession, what is the profession? It can be defined, we can say an occupation backed by specialized knowledge and training. It means any type of occupation if a person is having, and these characteristics are involved. What are the characteristics? Well-defined body of knowledge. It means in every profession, there is a practice of systematic body of knowledge which helps the different professionals such like doctors, teachers, lawyers to gain specialized knowledge. If someone has a degree of doctor, so it means he or she has acquired some knowledge from any institution or university. So just like profession, characteristic of profession, different study material and specialized knowledge material is available. We can say in management also we have large number of books available on management studies. So this principle, this characteristic is applicable to management. Second is restricted entry. It means we can say the entry to a professional is restricted through an examination or degree. We can say that if someone is saying that I am a doctor, so that person is required to show some professional degree he is having, so that we can assure that yes, he is a doctor or he is a lawyer or any other professional. But for being a manager, it is not required that you should have some degree or examination to be passed so that you can assure us that you are a manager or not. So presently, this feature of management profession is not applicable to management. Third is presence of professional association. It means that for all the professions, special associations are established. We can say that doctors have to get themselves registered with Medical Council of India, lawyers with Bar Council of India. So there are different professional associations which give, from which they has to get himself registered with this association before practicing that profession. But for management, there is no association yet to be established which provides them a mark or a sign that yes, you are a profession. So this feature of profession is also not present in management. Fourth one is existence of ethical codes. Ethical codes means that what are the different codes fixed by the professional organizations which will bind you, which will assure you that what are the things you have to do legally, what are the compulsions, and what are the things you can't perform. So as a profession, we can say the duty of the doctor is to treat all the patients equally without discriminating them on the basis of caste, gender, and anything. So there are some ethical codes which binds the professionals, but in management there are not so much codes. So presently this feature of profession is also not present in management. There are no ethical codes which decide that what a manager has to perform and what are the things that manager cannot perform. Fifth feature is service motive. We can say that the basic motive of every profession is to serve the clients with dedication and having service motive. But we cannot say that the manager also performs all the activities just for the service motive. Maybe the purpose of the management of the organization is to earn profit. So a manager cannot perform such activities with the service motive. He has to perform all the activities for earning profit only. So this feature of profession is also not present in management. So out of these, we can say that well-defined body of knowledge is present in management. So we can say that management is on the path of becoming a profession, but still it is not a full-fledged profession. With this, we are completing our video. In our next video, we will discuss about levels of management. Thank you.